playing two today on a chilly, overcast Saturday afternoon in Hickory, North Carolina, as Georgia Southwestern and Lenoir-Rhyne are ready to link up for the second day in a row to play games 2 and 3 of this three-game series, and both these two teams' final weekend tune-ups before conference play starts next weekend. Eric Bach, Anthony Brown, my main man AB here. Delighted you are along with us. And AB, as we take a look at yesterday's numbers, it was vintage Bears. Good pitching, only gave up 4 hits in the game, and they got the one big inning, 5 runs in the 7th inning to pull away for their 11th straight win. And
yesterday's game was really, really intense, I think, from both sides. And that kind of made it fun. Patrick struggled early on, I would say, getting his control through, but the numbers were there in the end. The big bats came through when they needed them, and the Bears continue to win.
Take a look at our starting pitching matchup today. It's a good one. Bear coaching staff thinks that this Georgia Southwestern weekend rotation is really strong, and today they send Nick McCullum to the mound to face off against the reigning SAC Freshman of the Year, Joshua Lanham, who's 3-0 in 3 starts, 1.42 ERA in 19 innings. And the big number, which was staggering last year, 90 strikeouts to 10 walks a year ago. That bottom line, 24 strikeouts to 2 walks. Both of those 2 walks actually came the same inning for Joshua Lanham in his last start. But McCollum the same way. He was a reliever last year, made 19 appearances out of the bullpen and only 1 start, but they have transitioned him into a starter, and AB's been really good this year for the Hurricanes.
I think this is a classic matchup between 2 power pitchers, dudes that can finish you and they get 2 strikes on you. Should be interesting to make sure which offense can get to the other pitcher first.
Let's quickly take a look at the Georgia Southwestern starting lineup today. Most of the same names that we saw yesterday. Wozniak will move into the DH role instead of catching. John Austin Sutton will catch, but other than that, it's the same names. Josh Newton hit the big 3-run home run yesterday against Andrew Patrick, and now Miles Hartsfield digs in, playing shortstop today. Entered the game late yesterday at shortstop and waves and misses. There's the changeup from Joshua Lanham. That's the strikeout pitch, and he throws it for strike 1 today as we're underway.
And you mentioned it. We're going to see a lot of that changeup, but he's got a heater behind it too.
Upstairs, the ball on a strike. Hartsfield yesterday started in center field, ended up at shortstop. 0 for 3, 0 for 2 actually, with a pair of walks and a run scored. So was on base twice in the leadoff spot for the Hurricanes. 2-1.
Pretty good weather so far today. Decent amount of cloud coverage. Not a whole lot of wind, something we've really come accustomed getting.
Don't speak too soon, my friend. 2-1. Breaking ball, touch high and wide, 3-1. Something Lanham has not done at all is walk batters. Mentioned the 2 that he had walked were in the same inning, and he ended up getting out of that inning without any damage. And the 3-1, ball 4, just a touch off the plate. So there's the old announcer jinx coming through here in the first batter of the game.
Just got to lock in, settle in. It's crazy to think he's gone this many starts and this many pitches in his career. And that's only the 13th strike or 13th walk he's given up in this 2 seasons now.
Yeah, that's just insane to think about. Ragsdale, who had a good day at the plate yesterday, digs in. He hit a double late, but scalded a ball to right center field that Kuda made just a miraculous running catch on. Also hit a ball really hard at Bell in left field or in right field. Didn't have anything to show for it. Lanham drops in a breaking ball for a called strike 1.
Defensive play for the Bears this year has been fantastic,
Sure
I'd say.
has.
I mean, up the middle in the infield and out in the grass, it seems like they cover a lot of ground.
Especially the play by Cole Laskowski at second base has just been phenomenal. Ball on a strike on Ragsdale.
And Atiles and Laskowski, I mean, they both came in here with very high remarks on their glove, and we've been able to see a little more of Laskowski than Atiles, but I'd say both of them have impressed me so far.
Ragsdale at .238 through 12 games this year. Misses off the plate again. 2 balls and a strike on Reed. Made a somewhat of a costly mistake in left field yesterday. Ragsdale tried to dive for a ball that he probably should have just let bounce in front of him, and turned into a triple for David Bell, which kick-started that big 5-run inning for the Bears that ended up being the difference in the game in a 3-run ball game.
And that's the one thing that you just can't underestimate when you got a team like the Bears. They're so dangerous at the plate that one mistake could lead to 4 runs.
2-1 pitch upstairs. Lanham's struggled with the control so far through a batter and a half. It's 3-1.
And in his last start, you talked about he had his 2 walks of the season there. They had to have a quick mound visit to kind of correct some of the technique stuff that he was falling off on.
Josh, Georgia native, pitching against a team from his home state. The runner goes, pitch is swung on and missed. And Clarno just holds on to it, so a stolen base for Miles Hartsfields. And that takes away the double play possibility. And it's 3-2 on Ragsdale.
Clarno doesn't look happy at all.
I think he was upset with the Tilles out there, potentially. Maybe not covering in time, but feels like you just got to throw that ball, and if they're not there, that's on them. Full count to Ragsdale. Swing and a miss. Way to bounce back for Joshua Lanham after falling behind 3-1. Makes 2+ pitches for the first out of the day.
And that was a beautiful changeup right there. He's been attacking low in the zone on both batters early on today, and that one just died. Looked like it was going to be a fastball and fell off.
So now Angelino, who is the leading hitter on this Hurricane team at 273, came into yesterday's game at 300, but went 0 for 4 yesterday with 3 strikeouts, so a day he'd like to forget, especially against Andrew Patrick, who had 11 strikeouts in the game. And Angelino went way too far around there for strike 1.
And this is what we normally see, a good pace out of Lanham, just piling in the strikes.
Works from the stretch 100% of the time, regardless of runners on base. 1-1. So Braden Collette gets the start today in left field. That's the only change in the Bear lineup. We'll talk about him next half inning. He's an interesting case for LR that we'll get into a little bit later. But other than that, it's the same 9 defensively and in the lineup for the Bears. Lanham spins a curveball for a strike, 1-2.
His off speed is really ahead of his fastball right now. Just command-wise, it looks like he's putting it wherever he wants.
He's at his best when the off-speed stuff is finding the strike zone, according to his pitching coach, Derek Beasley. See what Bees dials up here on 1-2. I'm going to guess it's the changeup. It is. Touch off the plate, 2-2.
He's been close on those outside ball calls, just a hair off the plate. I think he's a good eyes to not chase.
Yeah, something we saw Georgia Southwestern do yesterday. Patrick, even though he had a great outing, did have 4 walks in the game, and Hurricanes were patient at the plate. 2-2. Grounder right side. This will move the runner. Laskowski plays the big hop and throws out Angelino for the second out. Now it's up to Wozniak to get Hartsfield home for the game's first run.
Just good old classic baseball right there. Ball hit to the opposite side of the field. Runner advances.
Yeah, productive out for Angelino. And now Wozniak, who had one of the 4 hits in the game yesterday, only one of the 2 hits against Andrew Patrick, led off that second inning with a ground rule double on the very first pitch of the inning. Snuck it over the left field fence off a bounce. Takes a breaking ball for a strike at the top of the zone. Then ended up coming around to score on the Newton 3-run home run.
This Hurricanes team was very game yesterday and brought the energy to try to pull the upset off.
Yeah, this is a team that is much better than their 4-8 record would indicate. Ball and a strike. They played a really tough schedule so far. Obviously, playing a ranked team here this weekend. They got swept by Tampa, who's a top 5 team in the country, but they hung with the Spartans. Have a strong starting pitching staff and a lineup. If they've would have been able to string together a few more hits throughout the first 12 games, they definitely would have a better record. There's another breaking ball for a strike, 1-2 on Wozniak, but it's if the hitting can catch up with the pitching for Georgia Southwestern, then they're going to be dangerous in the Peach Belt and conference play.
And they showed a little bit of that yesterday. I mean, with the 3-run blast, just really causing havoc yesterday whenever they got a chance.
Lanham trying to work around the leadoff walk. 1-2 pitch. This one's hit to Collette in left field, and he goes in, and it's over his head for another ground rule double. Bit of a misplay there in left field for Collette. Turns into the second ground rule double of the weekend for Wozniak. And the Hurricanes strike first here in the first.
Make one change, and that ball will find you.
Right.
It's a tough play right there. I mean, just a misread on your first couple steps. Shot it right over his head.
That ball was hit hard by Wozniak, but that's probably a play that needs to be made out there in left field, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, Colette's not too happy with himself right now, I would think. It's early on in the game, though.
So now Hunter Foster, who moves over to center field today after Hartsfield comes into the infield at short. Foster played a really good right field, as Derek Beasley will come out to talk with Joshua Lanham here, who I think he's probably pretty miffed about that play out in left field. But as a pitcher, you got to just flush it and move on, right? That's probably what Derek Beasley's telling him right now.
And I think that's one of the good things and bad things of Lanham. You got to kind of deal with the yin and the yang. He plays with so much emotion that you got to be able to control it, especially when something happens that's a little unfortunate.
Yeah, he's normally good at that, to channeling all that energy and emotion in a positive way. So trying to get him back to that.
And I even saw it last time in his last start. He had some frustration with the strike zone, and it took him a couple innings, I think, to really settle in and find his groove.
Looking to match his pitching staff mate, Patrick, the 4-0 starts. To have won each of their first 7 starts. As Foster takes a pitch upstairs. And it's 2-0. Now 3-0, but you're right, AB. The fastball command hasn't really been there in the first inning. Foster yesterday 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts and a walk. And there's only 4 hits scattered in the game for the Hurricanes, so it'd be hard-pressed to find a guy that had a really great day at the plate other than the 3-run home run by Josh Newton, 3-1.
And when you get 4 walks, it kind of makes it feel like it was a better day at the plate than it really was.
Right. They had a base runner on in 7 out of 9 innings yesterday, but added 2 in the 8th when the Bears had a fairly comfortable lead of 5 runs and then couldn't get any closer. Lanham pauses, and Foster calls time.
A little cat and mouse. I don't know if Lanham ever had even made a plan to throw that pitch.
Yeah, he definitely took a lot longer than he normally would. Three and 1 on Foster. Throws the changeup on 3-1. He was way ahead of it. Lanham's 1 strike away from limiting the damage to just 1 here in the top of the first.
You want to talk about confidence. 3-1 to throw a changeup at the bottom of the zone like that. That's just supreme confidence in that pitch.
Swing and a miss. Used the changeup to perfection there, and the side is retired. A pair of strikeouts in the first for Joshua Lanham, but the Hurricanes strike first on the RBI ground rule double by Greg Wozniak. Bears sticks are coming to the plate when you come back to Durham Field on the Bear Sports Network. Bottom of the first here at Durham Field. Early 1-0 lead for the Hurricanes of Georgia Southwestern over the Bears of Lenoir-Rhyne. And these are the 9 Bears that will come to the dish today against Nick McCollum. Mentioned just the one change, Braden Collette, who had that misplay in left field in the top of the first. Try to make up for it at the plates here in the 8th spot, but other than that, it's the same. Kuda Leskowski, Ynesta Atiles, Clerno, who's over 400 on the year now, by the way, after his 3-hit day yesterday. Perino, the national leader in RBIs, is batting 6th. Metzler, Collette, and Bell round out the starting 9 for the 24th ranked Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. First time LR's been ranked since 2017. Big reason why is because of this man coming to the plate. Mr. Wade Kuda, over 500 on the year.
That's ridiculous.
520, which is number 1 in the country of guys that have 45 or more at-bats. This is not a very small sample size. LR is the only team in the country, Divisions 1, 2, or 3, with 14 wins. They played 15 games, so 15 games is not a small sample size. The ball on a strike as McCollum missed inside. But it's just, you'd think that eventually he's going to cool off, but he just hasn't yet.
It's one of those things where you're just waiting for him to come back to earth, but maybe he never will.
Goodness. McCollum delivers the 1-1 drilled foul just outside the third base bag. 1-2 on Wade. Florida native.
The thing I think I love the most about his swing is it's so short.
Yeah, he certainly knows when to shorten it up, too, in these types of two-strike situations. McCollum, by the way, in his last start, 4-2 win over Shepherd, 6 innings of 3-hit ball, 2 earned. Kuda blasts this ball down the left field line. Has home run distance, but it's foul. So still 2-2. Third start of the season. 15 innings so far logged for Nick.
Kuda just has so much power in his swing.
Was decided to swing at that one late, but still got the hands through it to foul it off. 2-2. Full day of LR Bears sports. Kuda beats this one in the ground left side. Tough play for Skelton, and he's got no chance. He just eats it. And the hits keep coming. That one counts just as much as a home run. And Wade Kuda's got a leadoff infield single here to start the Bear attack in the first.
When you're on, you're on. Right now, Wade Kuda, it seems like everything he does just finds the right spot.
McCollum's only given up now 12 hits the whole year. Also had 9 strikeouts and only 1 walk in that Shepherd start that I mentioned. Leskowski, who had a great day yesterday, reached base on 4 out of his 5 plate appearances, including 3 hits. 2 runs scored. One of the transfers, one of those JUCO transfers from up in New York that has really found his niche in the middle infield for the Bears. 1-1.
And a heck of a player on that JUCO team. Heck of a team he was a part of. So he knows how it feels to win. And I think that builds to part of something that Coach Ramirez had talked about, playing confident but not cocky.
Right. Yeah, the Bears have every reason right now to be confident in themselves. I mean, the way they're pitching and hitting. Leskowski takes a strike, 1-2. LR leads the nation in total hits, top 15 in team ERA. And the teams that are ahead of them have a much smaller sample size. Leskowski right side, Mamatus just has to go to first. So the runner moves. Leskowski's the first out of the bottom of the first.
It's a good job right there by Kuda reading that off the bat. I mean, normally a shot right in front of you got to hold up, but he knew as soon as that contact was made, he was able to get second.
So now Ynesta, who in this spot yesterday crushed his 3rd home run of the season, a no-doubter to left field that opened the scoring as the Bears jumped on Dalton Cameron early. This time Ynesta chops it foul towards his third base dugout. Ynesta, one of those guys, still over 400. He's been over 400 since the season started, at 404 right now. Takes strike two. Good changeup there from McCollum that finds the outside corner, and Ynesta's quickly down 0-2.
I mean, we can't talk about it enough. Some of the batting average numbers for these Bears, it's just insane how well they're hitting and seeing at the plate.
Ynesta always in the back of the box. The 0-2, swing and a miss. Cranked up the heat at the top of the zone. McCollum makes quick work of Ynesta for the second out. So now Atiles, who out of his 12 RBIs this year, 10 of them have come with 2 outs, gets another chance here with 2 outs and a man in scoring position.
Been the story of the season so far for the Bears, 2-out hitting.
Yep. Tipped into the glove of Sutton for strike one. Lewis, 548 and 42 at-bats. 1 for 4 yesterday with a 2-run single with 2 outs. That was part of that big 5th inning. Good take there, down and away, a ball and a strike.
And that plays in the mind of pitchers. They know coming in here that when there's 2 outs, they gotta do something a little special,
right,
to get the Bears out.
Sometimes get those 2 outs. We've seen the Bears score 7-8 runs in an inning with 2 outs. Strike 2 on the corner. McCollum, they knew what he was coming in to this one, and he's certainly lived up to that in the first inning. Reliever turned starter here in 22. 1-2 to Atiles. He goes after it, but he will reach on this drop third strike. So McCollum gets the strikeout, but the inning stays alive for Perino.
That's unfortunate, I think, right there for the Hurricanes. You get the pitch you want and kind of spike it a little bit in the back of the plate. And a fortunate bounce for the Bears. However it takes to keep the inning going.
And now one of the hottest bats in the Bear lineup is coming up. Nick Clarno, who all of a sudden is 3rd on the team in batting average at .419. He's had 7 hits in his last 3 games, so that'll raise that average quick. Takes ball 1 down at his ankles. 3 for 4 yesterday with an RBI. Moved up to 5th in the lineup today after hitting 6th yesterday. Perfectly placed fastball at the knees for a called strike, 1-1.
Very tough batter at the plate right now in Clarno.
One with a really good eye, too.
Which you would expect from somebody who catches behind the plate all the time.
Yeah, it's true. Tied for the team lead in walks with 11. On-base percentage is .545, but goes after a pitch in the dirt there, 2-2. Kuda reached on an infield single. Atiles aboard on a drop third strike. Lewis fakes the steal. Clarno fouls the 2-2 pitch off the very end of the bat over the first base dugout and stays alive.
Clarno, he's just so much of a catcher to me at the plate. I mean, he's got a good eye. He's really gritty. And sometimes he'll take a chance, go with a big swing.
Runner goes, pitch is high, and Atiles will take second without a throw. It's the first career stolen base in a Bear uniform there for Luis Atiles. And now 2 men in scoring position for Clarno. Full count pitch, fouled back. All of a sudden, a pretty high leverage situation here in the first inning after the Hurricanes got on the board. RBI ground rule double by Wozniak. Bears trying to answer that with at least 1, maybe 2 of their own here in the bottom of the first. Another full count pitch. Upstairs, ball 4. Great at-bat. He just continues to turn in quality at-bat after quality at-bats. And now the bases are loaded for Perino.
And it doesn't really matter. He's he just sits in there, takes his pitches with so much confidence. And as you said, forcing another high-leverage situation on the arm, I think that's part of the reason why the Bears have had so much two-out success.
Yeah.
And the more pitches you can make a pitcher throw in stressful situations, they're just going to make a mistake.
This is the man you want up in this scenario. 23 RBIs for Anthony Perino, which is number 1 in all of Division II college baseball at this point in the year. And he cranks a ball center field. This is going to stay in the park. Just got under it a touch as Foster grabs it, and the side is retired. So, Nick McCollum loads the bases, but able to put up a 0 in the bottom of the first. We're through 1-0 Hurricanes on the Bear Sports Network.
Welcome to Everett Chevrolet. How may I help you? Help? That's what we're here to do. Help you buy your next dream vehicle. Start your deal at everettchevy.com or swing by for a quick and hassle-free experience. And remember, if you didn't get an Everett deal, you didn't get a deal at all. Everett is a proud sponsor of the LR Bears.
Six, 7, and 8 coming up in the top of the second for the Hurricanes of Georgia's Southwestern against Joshua Lanham. Hurricanes got a run in the top of the first and an RBI ground rule double from Gregory Wozniak. It's 1-0 Canes over the Bears. Eric Bach, Anthony Brown. Delighted you're spending part of your Saturday afternoon with us. All of a sudden, the final Saturday of February, AB. It's crazy how fast this month went by.
It's the shortest month in the year, and it seems like it feels like it every time. It just goes by so quick, but something happening every day.
Especially here in collegiate athletics with crossover season in full swing. Bear hoop teams finish up their regular season today down at Newberry.
Huge games.
Yeah, both of them big. Need both of them to feel secure about their spots in the SAC Conference Tournament.
March Madness is around the corner.
Yep. The first round of the postseason tournament for hoops is Wednesday night, March 2nd. The Bears make it, they'll be traveling as Josh Newton, who hit the 3-run home run in the second inning last night, tries to bunt here and fouls it off for strike one.
My favorite thing about March Madness is just the like you said, the crossover between sports, the spring sports, all the excitement, because their seasons are still early on. You got all the craziness going inside the gyms. It feels like it's just no misses in the sports world around this time of the year.
1-1 on Newton, who that was his only hit of the season so far, that 3-run home run. He was 0 for 13 before that. But that was a no-doubter to straightaway left field. This one beating the ground foul, 1-2.
Great way to get your first hit, I'd say.
Right?
I mean, because I wasn't on the mic, but I was standing up here, and that ball was hammered.
Yeah, it was. One of the few guys that has the distinction of saying they've gotten Andrew Patrick this year. There's not going to be very many people that can say that. In the dirt, 2-2.
Starters for the Bears. I mean, Patrick, he's been just exactly what you expect out in an ace.
That's right. Lanham would be an ace on most staffs. Newton again up the middle and has his second hit of the season straight up.
He's got good swings, pretty good approaches at the plate. And you know just as much as I do, sometimes it's just about getting the luck of the bounce and hoping that nobody's in there when you make contact.
Hard contact, one hopper up the middle, and now John Austin Sutton, who had one pinch hit at bat last night late in the game, struck out in that at bat. Strike one. Perfectly placed breaking ball again. We talked a lot last night, Justin and I did, about the Bears' approach and pitching backwards. And they do that again here today. But when you got guys that can throw any pitch for a strike in any count, that certainly makes things a lot more flexible on the mound. Lanham misses a touch off the plate, a ball on a strike.
He's thrown a couple that have looked just so nice on the outside part of the plate. Not getting the call, though, on both sides.
It's been a tight zone. It was a tight zone last night, too, for both Patrick and Dalton Cameron, the starters in last night's game.
Just can't let that get to you as a pitcher. Got to keep throwing your pitches. Talk about some good moves. We saw a couple of really nice moves out of Andrew Patrick yesterday.
Yeah, a couple near pickoffs. And the 1-1. Perfectly placed changeup. Freezes Sutton as it grooves in on the inner half, 1-2.
It just feels like every time Lanham throws that changeup, he's getting a strike call for it.
Newton at first led things off with a single, takes off. Hit and run on maybe there with a 1-2 count as Sutton fouls off the fastball.
Maybe trying to anticipate a little bit off speed, get a jump on the runner. But you talked about it. This is an offense that struggled to score, so coach is looking to manufacture something.
Came into this one with a team batting average of less than 200. Perino grabs it at first, steps on the bag, and just eats it, as Newton got a good jump off of first base there to make it to second safely. So a productive out for Sutton moves the runner to second, and one gone here in the top of the second.
That's the second time now we've seen the Bears decline on making a throw. I think that one could have been interesting if
it had been
Perino
close,
down.
but we saw Ynesta late in the game last night throw a ball the first that he should have held on to, and it led to 2 runs scoring on made an errant throw. So now Skelton, third baseman, watches a breaking ball low and in at his ankles for ball 1. Tyler 0 for 3 with a walk, scored on the Newton home run last night. And has a half-hearted wave at that pitch down and away from him, 1-1.
That's just being fooled right there. He almost looked like he guessed that he was just going to take a swing there.
Hit a ball hard in his final at-bat last night, lined out right to Atiles at shortstop, who didn't even have to move an inch to make the play. Newton at second, and the 1-1. Fastball, touch off the dish, 2-1.
Coming into today, this Hurricanes team had a batting average of 193.
Yeah, it was even 200 going into the game yesterday, and only 4 hits mustered in last night's ball game is not going to raise that team batting average. This is away from Clarno. A wild pitch moves Newton up to third. So for the second inning in a row, the Hurricanes have a man on third base, and in the first they got him home.
And less than 2 outs. That's the important part, because another productive out could get you a run.
That's right. Last time in this situation. There were 2 outs, but Wozniak hit the ground rule double over Collette's head in left field, so it didn't matter. 3-1 on Skelton. This one's to center. This will easily get the run in as Kuda drifts back into the gap, makes the catch. And a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Tyler Skelton. Georgia Southwestern's made the most of their opportunities so far. And it's 2-0 Hurricanes. Bears trying to appeal that at third base, but I think Newton definitely left in time.
We've seen that once this year. The Bears, they pay attention to everything. We've had some crazy things happen early on in this season.
Especially base running wise. I mean, the missing home plate, which ended up taking 2 runs at least off the board for Goldie Beacom a couple weekends ago. That was just bizarre.
Runner leaving early cost his team a run, maybe 2. I mean, we've seen some things.
Mamatas through the left side. Grounds a base hit into left field. So now in an inning and 2/3, Georgia Southwestern has almost as many hits in this game as they did the entire game last night.
Seeing the ball well, putting some good swings on it, finding some good spots. I think Atlanta's just going to have to work through this.
So the RBI for Skelton. Now the top of the order. And Hartsfield, who walked and scored the first run of the day for the Hurricanes, is back up again here in the second, pardon me. It's the 4th RBI of the season, by the way, for Skelton. Breaking ball, bottom of the zone, 1-1.
This Bears team, though, they believe they can score 10 runs every time they step on this field. So you just got to lock in, I think, right now if you're Lanham, and just keep limiting the damage until you find your groove.
This one's cranked to deep right center field. Kuda back at the track, and it's over his head up against the wall. Mamatas coming home. He will score standing up. It's a 2-out double for Miles Hartsfield. Georgia Southwestern throwing haymakers here in the early innings. It's 3-0 Hurricanes.
That was absolutely hammered out into right center field. Thought it had a chance to go.
Yeah, the ballpark has held some really close ones so far this weekend for the Hurricanes.
Just the 3rd RBI on the season for Hartsfield.
So now Ragsdale, who struck out against Lanham in the first, will try to keep this 2-out rally going, and he will. Gets hit by a pitch in the right leg, and things not going well for Lanham here early on.
Kind of feels like the Hurricanes are hitting the Bears with a little bit of their own medicine.
That's right. So 3 hits in this inning, including an RBI double for Hartsfield. It's the 3rd double for Hartsfield. And the 3rd RBI. As Angelino, who is the leading hitter on this team, digs in with 2 on and 2 out. Already a 3-0 lead for the Hurricanes in this one.
It's the inning that's gotten long for Lanham.
Good change up there. Gets Angelino fishing after it. 0-1. Sun is peeking through the clouds here today at Durham Field. Hurricane dugout making some noise. 0-2. Lanham finds the top of the zone with a breaking ball. Angelino's had a big struggle so far this weekend. Had a good season so far, but he's not been able to figure out the Bears thus far this weekend. See if Lanham can get the better of him here and end this inning with just 2 runs across. One and 2. Good take by Angelino to not go fishing there.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Take a chance, try to get him to extend his zone. But you said it, a hitter that's been good coming into this series, just having a rough series.
Hartsfield at second, Ragsdale at first. 1-2. Chops left side. Atiles has to hurry and just eats it. That's one of the drawbacks of the turf, is that you get more bounce on those ground balls. So you see more infield singles here than you do just about anywhere else, and Angelino picks one up there.
Yeah, that was a nice high hopper. Really took the speed off of it. Atiles, he's got a strong arm, but I don't know if he'd have been able to make that play.
That was probably the wise move to just eat that one, because that's at least 1 run, maybe 2, if that ball gets past Perino at first, if he tries to rush that throw. So the 4th hit of the inning for Georgia Southwestern. Have more hits in this, the same amount of hits in this inning than they did the entire game last night. Wozniak, who had the first RBI, the ground rule double, waves and misses for strike 1.
And that was a big swing there. I think he was trying to clear the bases.
Barely misses outside, 1-1.
Just need to get out of the inning right now, I think, if you're Lanham. Go sit in the dugout and shake this off.
This is a fairly modest 2-run inning right now for Georgia Southwestern, as once again, Lanham's got them down to their final strike here in this inning. But this could be a lot bigger with a base hit here for Wozniak. So this is a really big at-bat here for Lanham to get, because right now it's manageable. 6 or 7-0, maybe not so manageable.
And you never know with this offense for the Bears how many they'll put up.
1-2, he got him on strikes. So Josh battles and is able to strand the bases loaded, but 2 more runs for the Hurricanes. In the second, they lead 3-0 after an inning and a half on the Bear Sports Network. largest deficit of the season for the Bears here in the bottom of the second inning. They trail 3-0 to the Hurricanes of Georgia's Southwestern. 7-8-9 coming up here for the Bears against Nick McCollum, who's looking for his third win of the season and second straight. And Metzler starts things off in the second on a good note for the Bears with a ground ball single right back up the chute.
You got to think somewhere deep down, Coach Ram is kind of happy the Bears are in this situation.
Well, we talked to him last night when I think LR was down 3-2 at the time when we talked to him in the fourth inning last night. And he definitely, I asked him point blank, I said, now that was 3-2, 3-0's a little different. But I said, is this a good point of growth for your team? Because they've just been killing people, like double-digit running people. And he wholeheartedly agreed. He said it's good for them to be in games like that. They really had to scratch and claw last night and really earn that win. And today they'll have to do the same if they are to win their 12th straight game. Braden Collette, who we told you earlier that we talk about, that this coaching staff thinks that he is the most talented baseball player on this team. Says they think he's a dual sporter here at LR, football and baseball. And they think that if he is able to focus enough time on baseball, swings and misses here and strikes out. But they said he's going to do that a lot early. But the natural ability and talent, both on the mound and at the plate, they think, is just through the roof. But a strikeout there, so a good bounce back from McCollum after the leadoff single by Metzler brings up David Bell.
And just to say that on Collette, you don't see too many dual sport athletes in today's world, so that already is a telling sign.
Trying to find a landing place for him on the football team, either maybe it's safety or slot receiver. They haven't really landed on where they think his talents would be best utilized.
Tells me he's just an athlete.
He is, and that's what Coach Ram said, is that he's crazy enough that he's just going to run at somebody and hit you at full speed, and talented enough that he can hit the ball 450 feet out of the ballpark. So just the definition of a pure athlete is Collette. 1-1 to Bell, inside 2-1.
I've done one half of those. I'm crazy enough to run at people, but I've never hit a baseball that far.
Never hit one 450?
I've went 250 a few times.
Me too, my friend. Maybe 300 a couple times. David's at 320 on the season. Junior from Kings Mountain, 3-1. Bell hit a triple last night to lead things off in that big seventh inning. It was actually the fifth inning, not the seventh inning. But he was able to get a ball past Ragsdale to the fence, get his first triple of the season.
And I think he's really been a key to why this lineup's been so good at the bottom of it.
For 100%. He doesn't get the credit that he deserves either. Here's another ball to center field. Foster comes on. Metzler's going to have to hurry back to first as the throw is coming in, and they got him. What a throw by Foster. And all the momentum in the hands of Georgia Southwestern right now. An inning-ending double play. We're through 2. 3-0 Hurricanes on the Bears Sports Network. Joshua Lanham back to work, top of the third. So the Bears are trying out some new technology today. Obviously, the new NCAA rules this year allow for catchers, for one, technology to be used in the dugout, and for catchers to have an earpiece that's connected to the dugout. Normally, the first 15 games of the year, Clareno's wore an AirPod in his ear, but today they're trying out like a walkie-talkie wire out of his ear, and they have attached the walkie-talkie to the inside of his chest protector, and so they're trying out a new system, but Clareno dislodged that when he threw that ball down to second base to warm up here in the third. So bit of growing pains in that way with that new technology, but it's something that's, college baseball, to their credit, is really trying to be on the cutting edge of things as the game continues to evolve quickly, and I think it's a good thing that they're allowing this technology to be used, and LR certainly utilized it to the best of their ability so far, as Foster, who made a really good throw to end the last inning, hits the ball to deep left center field, but Kuda on the edge of the warning track makes the catch in deep left center field for a long out number one here in the top of the third.
And I want to add on to what you were saying about the technology. I actually love it. I feel like you said college baseball's, it's different, it's exciting.
Yeah.
And I feel like taking advantage of the opportunity to maybe add a small thing here or there with some technology could just make it even better.
So a good play there by Kuda in center field. And now Newton, who singled and scored last inning, I should say, takes a strike from Lanham, trying to get his mojo back, giving up 5 hits, 3 earned through 2.
How great would it be for him to get a quick inning here and just kind of
settle things back in for sure. Foster waves and misses 0-2.
Because 3-0 really isn't that bad.
Not at all.
And he's worked through worse. I've seen him, but you got to start showing some improvement somewhere.
There's people standing in the bullpen as this is a chopper to short. Atiles charges, transfers, and makes a really nice, silky smooth play there for the second out. But there's people down in the bullpen standing around. Nobody's warming up. This is still Lanham's game for now, but they're ready in case things go bad. But things are good here in the third. 2 up and 2 down, and Sutton up with 2 outs and the base is empty. Strike one.
Yeah, he's dialed in a little better this half inning. I don't know what was said in the dugout, but he just does that. Sometimes he goes in there and just flips the switch.
Saw he and Derek Beasley having a prolonged conversation between innings. They're talking mechanics, talking, I'm sure, mentality and mental focus and toughness and all those good buzzwords that pitchers and pitching coaches like to use. Up and away from the lefty Sutton, who grounded out to first base for the first out of the second inning. And the count is 1-2. Two and two down at his ankles. Threw the changeup, but Sutton laid off of it.
Sun's really poking through now.
Sure is. This one's ripped foul between the lights. I think it went right in between 2 of the light bulbs down the right field line and onto the track behind us. Speaking of track, the LR track teams are competing in the SAC Indoor Championships today and tomorrow in Winston-Salem. Grounder up the middle and through for a base hit. So a 2-out single for John Austin Sutton.
Georgia Southwestern has not been cheated on a lot of their swings today. Hit a few fair and foul, but they've hit them hard.
Yeah, already the 6th hit through 2 2/3 for the Hurricanes, who've left 4 men on base through through 2 as well. So, this is a 3-0 ball game, and it could be worse. As Lanham strained at the bases loaded last inning. And now Skelton, who has one of the 3 RBIs today, hits a ball hard to right field, but Bell comes on and grabs it to retire the side. So a 0 put up by Lanham for the first time today. Bears will try to put a crooked number up when you come back to Durham Field on the Bear Sports Network. Bears have a hit in each of the first 2 innings, but nothing to show for it on the scoreboard so far. One of the guys with a hit is this guy coming to the plate, Kuda, Laskowski, and Yanesta, top of the Bear order. Second time through the lineup here. Wade had an infield single to third base, stranded on third in the first. Continues to raise that .520 batting average. 1-1 as McCollum finds the inside corner for a strike.
Batting average is insane when he gets out here and it goes like it's just going to go down. That would be a bad day for him if he went 1 for 2.
Mamatus makes the play at second for the first out. So always kind of let a sigh of relief if you're the opposing coach and you see Wade Kuda going back to the dugout.
Bears, this lineup, one of the things they've done all season is have the big crooked number.
Yeah, they've had a big inning in just about every single game here on this 13-game homestand. This is game 12 out of the 13-game homestand. The Bears have yet to lose. As Laskowski takes ball 2, 2-0 on Cole, who grounded out to second in the first. That moved the runner Kuda, so it was a productive out.
And I don't care what level you're playing at, to have a 13-game or have an 11-game win streak is just impressive. I don't care if it's high school, college, pros. That's hard to do.
Longest win streak since 2015 for the Bears. Laskowski tips it into the glove of Sutton, who looked like he was a little worse for wear after it. 2-1.
Sometimes you got to battle back there.
Actually 2-2. Now the count is full as Cole has a really good eye. Part of the reason why he's been so successful this year is because his ability to foul off pitches he doesn't like and take borderline pitches. And he takes a walk there. Beautiful at bat for Laskowski, who's aboard now for the 5th time in the series.
He just does what he's supposed to do right there in between some big hitters. Gets on base. Just as simple as that sometimes.
Now Yanesta, who McCollum got the better of in the first. 3-pitch strikeout to Drew. But can make this a 1-run game easily with one swing of the bat.
Already better in this at-bat than he was in his first at-bat, getting a first pitch ball.
It's a borderline pitch that he didn't really like. That was called a strike. There's another. The count is 1-1 on Yanesta. Seems like if there's ever anyone on this team that gets the shaft on the strike zone, it seems to always be Drew Yanesta. Whenever there's a questionable strike with the Bears at the plate, just always seems like Yanesta's the one with the short end of the stick. Fouls this one off out of play as it angles off the light post.
It took a little bit of aggression out in that swing. That one had some heat to it.
So 1-2 on Yanesta. He goes fishing after that one for strike 3. He'll be out as first base was occupied, but Laskowski moves up on the wild pitch. And another 2-out RBI chance for Luis Atiles.
Bears looking for a big 2-out hit here.
See if Atiles can deliver it. Slider away for ball 1. Atiles struck out in the first but reached on a wild pitch. And another wild pitch moves Laskowski up to third. Takes a big turn. But we'll stay put.
And you would think for McCollum, being a former reliever, that he's kind of used to pitching out of the stretch in these situations that have a little bit of leverage to him.
That's a very good point. Atiles off the handle, pops it up right side. Newton over towards the line. And he makes the catch about 10 feet inside the foul line to retire the sides. The Bears leave another man on base. They've left 4 on through 3. Joshua Lanham back to work when you come back to Durham Field on the Bears Sports Network.
Hey Bears fans, Dave here with Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, your local hometown dealer since 1967. Come see us in Hickory or Morganton to check out all of GM's hottest new products, the area's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, and service you can depend on. Visit us online at everettchevy.com. Good luck to the Bears this season, and remember, if you didn't get an Everett deal, you didn't get a deal at all. Go Bears!
Little Eminem bumping. Joshua Lanham back to the bump here in the top of the 4th. Trying to hold this to a 3-run game. It's 3-0 Georgia Southwestern right now over the 24th ranked Bears of Lenoir-Rhyne. Eric Bach, Anthony Brown. Grateful you're spending part of your Saturday afternoon with us. 9-1-2 coming up for the Hurricanes here in the top of the fourth as that foul ball goes right over our heads. For strike one. Mamatas singled and scored a run in the second. So one of the 3 runs for the Hurricanes today.
And for the Bears and Lanham, you're trying to get your second scoreless frame here and really build some momentum.
Chopper to short. Atiles grabs it up by his forehead. Makes a perfect throw for the first out.
His arm is ridiculously strong. I mean, he just got that one and from flat feet threw a missile across and made that look routine.
He has the reputation of being an A++ defensive shortstop. Had a few minor struggles in the beginning of this homestand, but the past couple series has been electric and continues his really good play there. Top of the order, 3rd time through already for the Hurricanes as Hartsfield, who's been on both times, walking a double, fouls the first pitch off for strike one. Perfectly placed. Lanham's definitely had the fastball command a lot more these last 2 innings, and he's ahead 0-2.
And I saw the same thing in his last start against Shippensburg. I mean, he was struggling early on in that one, went in the dugout, and it's almost like he just hit a reset button.
Breaking ball. A little bit high and wide, 1-2. Breaking ball. He got him on strikes. Lanham punches him out on the corner. 2 outs.
This is the Josh Lanham we're used to seeing, getting ahead early and then finishing batters off.
Fourth strikeout for Josh. And Ragsdale, who got hit by a pitch in the second, takes a strike at the knees. But you said it, this is the Josh Lanham that we're used to seeing, especially this inning and a little bit last inning as well. Not going to have your best stuff in every start. Laskowski can't grab it on the outfield grass. I'm not sure he would have had Ragsdale either way. But the hit streak continues for Georgia Southwestern. They've had at least 1 base knock in each of the first 4 innings.
A little bit of a CNI shot there that just found the right area of the field with Laskowski playing up the middle more.
So that is ruled a single for Ragsdale correctly, in my opinion.
I'd agree, too. That was more better placement than it was a bad play.
No, Laskowski has to lunge after it onto the outfield. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on and popped up right side. This will be a tough play as Laskowski has to work back. Perino makes the call, drifts, and makes everyone nervous, but he makes the play to retire the side. So 2 straight zeros put up by Joshua Lanham now after the 3 runs for Georgia Southwestern in the first 2 innings. Bears trying to break through and get on the scoreboard themselves in the bottom of the 4th when you come back to Durham Field. Clarno, Perino, Metzler coming up here in the bottom of the fourth. Bears have a couple of hits, but still looking for their first run of game one of this doubleheader today. LR trying to win its 12th straight game. Clarno, who walked in his first plate appearance back in the first, takes a strike at the knees. Big swing at the second fastball, but Nick McCollum, he's really challenged these hitters so far today, and LR's had some traffic on the base pass. They've left 4 men on through 3, but McCollum's been able to avoid the big hit so far.
He's just doing his job right now. This is a well-played baseball game, I think, by both sides. And the difference is the Hurricanes came through. They got a mistake in the first inning that helped them, and then a couple of big hits in the second.
Clarno leans out of the way of that breaking ball that missed inside, 2-2. Barely tips it as Sutton can't squeeze it. That's the definition of barely staying alive right there.
Just staying alive, though. That's all that's important right there, getting another chance.
Popped up, foul ground behind home plate. Sutton back at the bricks, drifts and makes the catch. Well done there by Sutton to play the wind. Clarno's retired to lead off the bottom of the fourth.
Really good play, like you said, to play the wind, and a spinning ball like that easily could have got under it.
So now Perino, who came up with the bases loaded in the first and just missed the ball that would have been a grand slam had he got just a tiny bit more of it, flew out to Foster in center field. But the base is empty here, 1-1.
2 hits so far in this game for the Bears, and it just feels like they're looking for a hit to really get the engine going.
And both of the hits for LR have been leading off innings. Kuda's hit was to lead off the first. Metzler's hit was leading off the second. But the Bears, Metzler got doubled off of first base on a line drive. Perino strikes out here. Perfect slider on the outer half from McCollum, and 2 up and 2 down here in the fourth.
McCollum he's locked in right now.
5th strikeout for Nick. Metzler, who got him in his first at-bat, takes a pitch upstairs for ball 1. Big hack and a miss. Pulled his head right out of there, 1-1. Scott's hovering right around 300 in the 290s with the batting average, but McCollum, you can just tell Metzler waves and misses again. You can just tell that McCollum's confidence and rhythm is really growing here as we creep into the middle innings.
Yeah, and the big leg kick, I mean, you could just see it.
Working out of the winds up and makes quick work of the Bears in the bottom of the fourth. Back-to-back strikeouts of Perino and Metzler. And we head to the 5th. Still 3-0 Georgia Southwestern on the Bears Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing.
Play hard if you use your feet to chase fitness goals. If you stand all day at work. Introducing True Energy Infrared Technology Socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
Joshua Lanham back to work here in the 5th. Still sees his team trailing 3-0 on the scoreboard. Only thrown 80 pitches through 4, so the pitch count's in decent shape. Can at least get through this 5th inning, maybe the 6th if he goes quickly. Facing 4, 5, and 6 with Wozniak, Foster, and Newton due up. And Greg Wozniak, who's got a RBI. He's got actually 2 ground rule doubles so far in this series. One of them today in the 1st inning. Takes strike 1 at the top of the zone in the 0-1 pitch. Fastball grooved in for strike 2.
And just to be at 80 pitches now through 4 is really good for him because he was at 60 after 2.
Yeah.
A couple of long innings to start this game off.
Just 20 in the last 2, and he's given up a hit in each of the last 2 innings and only thrown 20 pitches, so the efficiency has really allowed him to have a little bit more longevity today. Fastball, couple inches off of home plate, 1-2.
The emergence of his fastball, I think, is what's allowed for him to be so much more efficient.
Yeah, I totally agree. Uses the strikeout pitch, the changeup there, to dispense of Wozniak for the first out. Second time Wozniak's struck out after the ground rule double. I think my Spartans are about to do it, AB. Little upset of the Boilermakers. Oh, 0-1 on Foster. We needed that one, didn't we?
Needed it.
Been tanking here in late February. 1-1 on Foster, who's 0 for 2, strikeout, flyout.
I love Tom Izzo.
He's something, isn't he? They just made a terrible play. They're up 3 with 0.4 seconds to go, and they threw the ball away.
They're going to make you sweat it out, aren't they?
My entire 23-plus years on this planet, they have never made anything easy late in games. And they usually find a way, but man, oh man, sometimes it's just maddening.
I understand. I've had a few years where I felt like that with the St. Louis Cardinals. It felt like no matter what.
Well, the Detroit Tigers the same way, but yeah. Foster down swinging, and Joshua Lanham's got his mojo back here in the 5th.
Yeah, he looks like a different guy than what he did the first couple of innings.
So now Newton, 1 for 2 today, single run scored. Hit the 3-run home run off Patrick last night. Grounded out to short. Tilles made a gorgeous play the last time Newton was up. Breaking ball at his ankles for ball 1. That curveball's at the knees, the ball and a strike.
One of the things we talked about earlier is technology in sports, and what are your thoughts of reviewing in college games?
Well, this play that we're particularly seeing in the Michigan State game, I think that he touches that with his feet still in bounds.
I thought live he did.
Yeah.
But
here's a bunt left side from Newton. Ynesta bare hands and almost throws it up the line as Perino gets a piece of it. But Newton popped that one up. Lanham couldn't grab it as he was trying to come off the mound. And it's the 8th hit of the game for Georgia's Southwestern already here. Yeah, he's not out of bounds when he touched. This game should be over, right?
I thought live that's what it looked like. And it's a good play right there to get the bunt down. We've seen, what's that now, like the 4th or 5th infield single today combined?
I know. It's the turf, man. People are faster on the turf. And the ball bounces more on the turf, which, more hang time allows for the runners to get there. I'm adamant that this Michigan State game should be over, though, because he touches the ball while he's still in bounds. They called him out of bounds. And for you North Carolina people out there, Tar Heels already up 18-3 over NC State.
They seem like a different team the last couple months.
Certainly.
Or the last
couple
weeks.
Yeah,
couple
weeks. Turned it around after they got throttled by Duke.
I'm really interested in what the rematch is going to look like between those two.
That's got to be next week, coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, these refs are taking forever to look at this, which I get it. It's a big play. Newton back to first.
That just reminds me of last night. I was watching Lakers and Clippers, and the final 2 minutes of the game took 23 minutes of real-life time.
Yeah, I believe it.
I mean, you got to find a way to make reviews faster.
How about the Lakers, that last shot that they got after all that? That was just brutal. Carmelo barely getting the rim. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on and missed. And Newton with a stolen base. He touches this ball while he's inbounds, AB. I'm telling you.
It's only 0.4 seconds. So
I know, and that should end the game.
All he's got to do is touch it.
So stolen base for Newton, the second stolen base of the day for the Hurricanes. And an RBI chance for Sutton, who had a single back in the third with 2 outs. Trying to repeat that here. He cannot. Joshua Lanham strikes out the side. Another beautiful changeup. And the side is retired. 3 straight zeros put up by Lanham. Bears trying to prevent another zero offensively themselves when you come back to Durham Field. Bottom of the 5th. Nick McCollum back to work. Only 69 pitches through 4 innings. Giving up 2 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. So, all things considered, that's a fantastic outing as Collette waves the bat at it, bounces it to third. Skelton has to hurry. Ball's up the line, and Collette is safe. And they tried to tag him as he lunged out of there, which Angelino and Collette are joking about over there at first base.
That's just one of those plays I think they're talking about when they talk about how athletic Collette is.
They're giving Collette a hit as Josh McDonald will come out to ask the umpires to see if Collette got tagged. And they say he's safe, so an infield single for Braden Collette.
Yeah. And one of the question was there if he missed the bag possibly. But
the foot was – the throw brought Angelino off the bag, and I don't think he tagged him, and the umpires agree. So an infield hit for Collette. 2 out of the 3 Bear hits in this game have been infield hits. But the third time out of 5 innings, the Bears have had the leadoff man on. Bell pops the first pitch foul straight back for strike 1.
And I know you've talked about the bounces. I don't know if the bounce really affected that one as Collette just was flying down the line.
His athleticism we were telling you about was on display there. Bella, soft grounder foul down the third base line. David hit a ball really hard in his first at-bat. Ended up starting a double play, lined out to Foster in center field and made a perfect throw to double off Metzler at first. So, found the barrel, but just poor placement. Breaking ball. Great block by Sutton behind the dish. 1-2.
And if you're the Bears, it's starting to get late. You got to find a way to really put some more stress on McCollum. Get these pitches up. Get this pitch count up.
Top of the order coming up after Bell. Collette fakes the steal. The pitch is fouled back to the screen. 1-2.
And again, this is the at-bat we're talking about that's so important for Bell that may not get the credit. If he gets on base here, you're talking 2-1 with the heavy hitters coming.
Perfect changeup there from McCollum, who's been really good today. Gets David Bell, but now a big challenge coming up with the top of the Bear order. And the third time through is when LR so far this season has really done some damage, especially against the starting pitchers.
I don't see too many starters third times because they chase them after a couple, but when they've been fooled early, they've been able to figure it out late.
Even if you hit the nail on the head, AB, as Kuda bounces one left side. Skelton goes to second and throws it into right field. Collette will stay put, but that's a break there for the Bears, as Skelton would have had Collette at second with a good throw, but an E5 puts two men on for Laskowski. Good look there on our Spangler replay. All our replays presented by our friends at Spangler Restoration. Officially scored as Kuda reaching on a fielder's choice and Collette safe on a throwing error. First pitch to Laskowski is a 56-foot fastball right into the chest protector of Sutton for ball one.
Spiked it a little bit there. And this is when things could get really interesting. Laskowski, great eye at the plate.
Feels like Bears have got to at least put one up in this inning, the chances that they've had so far. It's not like, McCollum's been good, don't get me wrong, but he has had to work around some traffic on the base paths. LR's left four men on base, hit some balls hard, so Bears trying to finally break through here, preserve this winning streak. Laskowski behind that fastball on the outer half, 1-2.
That fastball's got some good life to it.
Sure
We've
does.
seen some
maybe?
late swings.
Yeah, maybe it could possibly be a cutter. There's late movement. You said it. You hit the nail on the head, AB. 1-2. Downstairs, 2-2.
And you've said it, McCollum, he's done a good job. He's had to work through some trouble.
Yeah, and he's been great with runners in scoring position today for the Bears, is when McCollum's been at his best, which is what you want out of a pitcher.
This is a huge at-bat right here.
Yep. Got to at least get those runners moving if you're Laskowski. That'll do it. Past Sutton. Collette to third, Kuda to second. The count is full on Laskowski.
And it feels like if there is one negative for McCollum today on the mound is he's been a little wild with some of those pitches.
Yep, you're right again. Feels like Joshua Lanham's day's done after 5 innings and 95 pitches. But I heard Coach Ram say it looks like Braden Houston will be next out of the bullpen for the Bears. But I heard Coach Ram give Lanham a round of applause, saying that's a really good job. Put 3 zeros up in a row as Laskowski again battles and draws a walk, which, if you're McCollum, is not the worst thing in the world with the base open. Now the force is back intact everywhere, as mound visit will come from Tyler Bender, the assistant coach for Georgia Southwestern.
And I think appropriate, so this is a good time for a mound visit. But if you're the Bears, this is exactly what you want. Now you're going to put some stress on the coaches. Got to make a decision now. How much longer before they even think about warming somebody up, getting the arm ready?
Now there's finally some stirring and some action down there in the bullpen for the Hurricanes. This is the inning it went bad for Georgia Southwestern last night. They were up 3-2 at this juncture in the game a night ago, and then Bears put up a 5 spot in this 5th inning.
Very one way was that talk, but it would look pretty pep talkish.
Yeah, it certainly was not a lecture. I agree with you that it was more pep talkish for sure.
And for McCollum, this is huge. You want to put yourself in position to get this win. You got to get through this inning.
Yanesta, the bases loaded. McCollums has had his number today, a pair of strikeouts for Drew, and he waves and misses at strike 1 there.
And it's really been, whether it's a fastball or, like you said, a cutter, it's eating them alive right now.
Yanesta lays off the same pitch. That was smart by McCollum to go back to it. A ball and a strike.
And one thing you got to keep your eye on is spiking a pitch or something to let one get by. Bears looking for a run here in any way they can get it.
Yanesta is always way back in the box. Got a good pitch and tipped it back to the bricks. 1-2. Collette at third, led things off with an infield single. Kuda reached on an error. Laskowski walked. A lot of speed on the base pass all around right now for the Bears. 1-2 to Yanesta. Great block by Sutton. Pitch bounced right on the chalk of the left-handed batter's box, and he blocked it. 2-2.
The confidence and the ability to throw any pitch right now from McCollum, I think it's been the best part of the game today for him.
Certainly has had confidence in his catcher to block it. 2-2. Yanesta stays alive as he waves the bat at it. Now, that's not to say there hasn't been a few that have gotten past Sutton, but they've all been wild pitches. You can't expect your catcher to block every single one when you're spraying the ball downstairs, but he's had the control when it's mattered the most. Infield still back for Georgia Southwestern. 3-run lead, no need to bring him in. The 2-2 to Yanesta, rocketed down the left field line. This will score 2. Kuda's in without a throw, and Drew Yanesta, 2 more RBIs, and it's a 1-run game.
That was the moment I think the Bears have been looking for.
Absolutely.
Not a bad pitch, just a good job finally getting his hands in front of it. Sitting fastball, was able to drive it out in the left field, as you can see on the replay. Easily scores from second is Kuda.
So now Attiles. Both of his at-bats have come with 2 outs. Here's a line drive and a base hit to left center. Laskowski coming home. Here's the throw from Foster. It's up the line. This game is tied. Yanesta and Attiles come through. It's 3-3.
Bears doing what they do. Big-time hits. I mean, you said it, third time through the lineup. They just figure it out.
So tough. So tough. Might get them the first 2 times, but the third time, at least this year, nobody's gotten them 3 times. 13th RBI for actually both Yanesta and Attiles. That was RBIs number 12 and 13 for Yanesta, number 13 for Lewis. And all of a sudden, McCollum's day is going to be done here on the second visit of the inning.
For McCollum, I don't think there's anything to hang your head about.
Absolutely not.
This is a tough one to leave in right now, but you don't want to let him lose the game. Put him in position to be the losing pitcher, I think, right here. Got to try to go to the pen and see if you can get these 2 outs as the Bears have chased him.
First Carolina West call to the bullpen happens in a blink of an eye here in the 5th. McCollum coming out. New pitcher coming in. We'll tell you about him when we come back to Durham Field. Bears trying to take their first lead of the day here at home, facing Kyle Bockel, righty from Nokomis, Florida. Went to Venice Senior High School. Transferred in from Rollins, who we saw in here yesterday. Their women's lacrosse team was as good as advertised. But the Bears have tied things up here in the bottom of the fifth with 3 runs, a 2-run single for Drew Yanesta, who's at second, and an RBI for Luis Atiles, who is at first. Clarno takes ball 1 down and away. Nick 0 for 1 of the walk today. But AB, we said it before the break, to be able to get through this lineup twice is one thing, 3 times is quite another.
Just haven't seen it done yet this year.
Clarno fouls that one off the glove of Sutton, who's taking a beating back there behind the plate today. 1-2.
Still just 1 out, 2 runners on, and there's more danger ahead.
It's going to be a bullpen game now for the Bears. Joshua Lanham at worst can get a no decision. At best can get the win. The Bears can knock another run in. Clarno chopper to second. And Mamatus, as Atiles did well to stop and avoid the tag, Mamatus just takes it to first for the second out. But now Perino can give the Bears their first lead of the day here with a base knock.
Oh, Mamatas right there. Could have got the tag and made a play for a double play there. But made sure he got one. Now there's 2 outs. And the Bears in a position they've had a lot of success all year.
Josh McDonald out to ask the umpire maybe about some interference or something. Let's take a look at the Spangler replay. You see Atiles stop. Well, maybe he's saying he was out of the baseline, but
I don't think that's enough.
I wholeheartedly agree. If Mamatus wanted to tag him, he could have, because Atiles was running right into that tag, but did not. So now Perino, 0 for 2 today, fly out, strikeout. Big spot here, trying to give the Bears their first lead. Popped up right side. Newton calls it. It drifts towards the line. So does Newton, and he makes the grab, and the side is retired. But it's a whole new ball game. Got 4 innings to decide this one. 3-3. Bears and Hurricanes tied after 5 on the Bears Sports Network.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
So a no decision today for Joshua Lanham in his 4th start. It'll be the first time he didn't win, but His offense picked him up, scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th. We're tied at 3 as we head to the 6th, and he gives way to Braden Houston, making his 5th appearance of the season. Transfers from Southeastern Community College in Nebraska. Houston, native of Iowa City, yet to give up a run in his Bear career. 3 2/3, 1 hit allowed, 7 strikeouts to just 2 walks. So another one of those transfers that's been just money for the Bears out of the bullpen.
I mean, money might not even explain how good some of these transfers have been for the Bears. Just an update as we're at the halfway point here in this game. Halfway point of the women's basketball game, a big one down in Newberry. Win, and you're into the South Atlantic Conference Tournament. They're up 35-31 at half. Emily Harmon has 11 points.
Bears had a really good first quarter, 26 points, but only 9 in the second quarter as Newberry crept back into that one. So sending good vibes, Graham Smith and the Bears' way, trying to make the conference tournament in just his second season, which would be a pretty good accomplishment given the strength of the SAC in basketball on both the women's and men's side.
And it's been a couple of good Saturdays, the last few Saturdays here for the Bears.
Sure has.
So they're trying to keep the theme rolling. Everybody's in action today.
Men don't need a win as badly as the women do, but certainly would help.
Makes everybody sleep better.
Yeah. 8-9-1 due up for the Hurricanes of Georgia Southwestern. Tyler Skelton takes a strike, first pitch breaking ball out of the pen from Houston.
And this, I think, is another reason why the Bears have been so good. The arms they can bring out of the pen are just as dynamic as the ones they have to start in the game.
Now their breaking ball down and away, a ball and a strike. Skelton sack fly and an RBI back in the second, and then lined out to right field. So he's squared up 2 baseballs today. And that sack fly was no ordinary sack fly. That was at the warning track. Nearly went out of the park.
It's always it just gets listed the same, but they're not all made equally.
Right. Here's a ground ball to short. Routine for Attiles on the big hop. 1 out.
And the defense of the Bears has really settled in just as much as the pitching has after those first couple innings.
Georgia Southwestern has left now 7 men on base through 5. They've had a single in each of the last 3 innings against Lanham, but we're not able to do anything with it. Lanham's final line, 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. And given the way it started, AB, he really bounced back in a big way.
I mean, both starters right now, you got 2 starts that were good starts for both pitchers, but in different ways. I mean, McCollum started out so strong and then just kind of got blitzed there at the end.
Yep.
And for Lanham, it was the opposite. He got blitzed early, but finished really strong.
Perfectly placed fastball in the outer half, 0-2 on Mamatus. Single and a run scored in the second, ground out to short in the fourth, so 1 for 2 for Matthew. Mentioned earlier the LR track and field team at JDL in Winston-Salem today. First of 2 days of the SAC Indoor Championships. There's the line drive to Hopper that Attiles can't grab.
Wow, that was surprising. Just a miss. Got right under the glove there. Happens sometimes. You don't see that too much out of Attiles.
I imagine that's going to be scored an error, and it is. So, in E6, Mamatas is aboard. First error of the day for the Bears, as you saw on the Spangler replay right there. Not quite as routine as the first play, but still a play that Attiles needs to make. And now the top of the order, 4th time through for the Hurricanes of Georgia Southwestern, as Hartsfield showed a bunt there after Houston went to first with it. I think that might be more of a bluff than anything else because he looked to go out of his way to show the bunt. Swinging all the way, takes a strike.
Good looking strike too. Want to make sure Coach Patterson and the track team send out good luck to them as 2 days trying to go down and win a conference title.
If I were a betting man, I would say that the Bears might be the betting favorite this weekend in Winston-Salem.
They've got a good shot. Gonna have to deal with the powerhouse Queens, of course, but
yep,
there's enough talent to do it.
Breaking ball flutters upstairs, the ball on a strike.
And I've been a part of those indoor meets before. It's a different feeling when you get in there.
A lot of turns there, the 200-meter track at JDL.
And it's just a different level of excitement. All the teams there, for every team in the conference, will be there showing support, and it gets loud. It gets really intense.
I'm sure. Especially indoors. The runner goes. Pitch is swung on and missed. The throw is perfect. Clarno guns him down. So the error atoned for. 2 outs.
That was a rocket. I mean, no shot right there.
Take a look at the Spangler replay. Not a good jump off of first base for Mamatus. And Clarno, Zatiles grabs it and makes the tag. And now 2 strikes on Miles Hartsfield. And the pitch. Soft liner to short. Atile's busy this inning, grabs it, and the side is retired. So Houston faces the minimum in the 6th. Bears will try to take their first lead in the bottom of the 6th on the Bears Sports Network. Kyle Bockel back to work. He and McCollum, the starter, pitched. McCollum pitched the first 6 innings in a win last Saturday against Shepherd, and Bockel pitched the last 3. It's a bit of a different reliever philosophy of these 2 teams. You see, if you look at the box scores, Josh McDonald has the relievers go longer. The Bears generally 1 inning a pop out of the bullpen, but seen a couple relievers turn into starters. McCollum's one of those guys as Metzler takes a pitch upstairs, a ball and a strike. But the combination of McCollum and Bockel was a winning one last time for the Hurricanes and trying to do the same thing here again today. Metzler, who's 1 for 2 today, is down 1-2 in the count as he fouled that one back to the screen.
And what I've seen from McCollum, I can understand how he could have the innings and lead them to the win like he did last time. Bockel, he came in and did good work to get that fly ball in the last inning.
Fouled off Metzler in the box, still 1-2.
Neither one staggering in frame, but both do a good job of just firing it in there.
Bockel in those 3 innings against Shepherd 8 of his 9 outs were strikeouts. He had 8 strikeouts. Didn't even give up a hit. Those were nearly 3 perfect innings, just 1 walk.
I could see it because his first warm-up pitch when he came out the pen, I mean, was a fireball.
Yeah. Didn't have a ton of time to warm up either after things went bad in the 5th quickly for the Hurricanes. Metzler fighting him hard here, though. Still 2-2.
One of the things I love about baseball so much is just it's always a learning game.
Yep.
Everything, every pitch, it's always a moment to learn.
Full count. But the Bears, they didn't have a ton of success early at the plate, but they battled and finally seen the fruits of their labor pay off here. Metzler hits the ball a mile high down the left field line. Ragsdale over towards the line. Has to wait underneath it for a while, but finally catches it for the first out.
Bears have gotten under a few and hit them a mile high. Straighten a few of those out, and the score could be different.
So now Braden Collette, in his first start as a Bear, got the rally started with an infield single in the 5th, scored the first run. Guy, they're super excited. They think he's just completely untapped potential so far, and they're trying to get the very most out of Braden. He hits this ball deep to left field. Ragsdale back at the track, drifts, leaps, and it falls out of his glove. Collette heads to third. The throw is not in time. And Braden has a 3-bagger here in the 6th.
That was a difficult read. I mean, he didn't miss that much by much. Hit it out into the gap.
Looked like kind of a pop-up off the bat, but it just kept going.
Kept going. I thought that was a really good swing. Really got it out there, and it just kept carrying, kept floating.
Ragsdale, you said it, kept floating. Ragsdale couldn't squeeze it.
I think he hits that on some of those other days when the wind's really blowing out. That might have left the park.
Calling it a triple, which I think is the right call. I mean, that's a really difficult play for Ragsdale to make.
That's a long run.
On the move, on the warning track, having to reach out for it. So a triple for Braden Collette, who has made an instant impact in his entry to the lineup today. David Bell trying to give the Bears their first lead of the day. Ball and a strike as he shoots that one foul on the right field line.
And having David Bell at the bottom, we've talked about it before, but now it's really like having a second leadoff hitter.
Yeah,
he's just going to battle
100%.
and do everything he can to just be a productive out here, if at worst.
Bell grounds a breaking ball foul, 1-2.
The other thing about him, too, is he's got all this speed. Now with 2 strikes, the bunt's dead, but an infield play is just not easy.
Infield halfway for the Hurricanes. Not all the way in, but certainly not as deep as they normally would be. Bell up the middle and through the wickets of Hartsfield at shortstop. And the Bears have their first lead of the day. So the triple and then a 5-hole there at shortstop by Hartsfield knocks in the go-ahead run. In the top of the order coming up.
That's a tough play right there. Put everybody in the right positions. You get one smoke to your shortstop. Between the wickets, a Bill Buckner, if you will.
Yeah, so that run is unearned. Bell does get an RBI for that, but unearned on the ledger of Backel. Kuda takes a breaking ball for a strike. I think this is going to be my last half inning, AB.
Looks like the Bears will.
Well, they've at least taken the lead as Kuda bunts and moves the runner over to second. Probably looking to bunt for a hit there and knocked it back to Bockel, the pitcher, but still gets a sac bunt out of it. And Laskowski a chance to widen the lead even more.
And come alive this offense has. 4 runs, all 4 coming in the last 2 innings. Runner at second base. Trying to make sure you can lead.
4 straight zeros on the board from Bear pitching since then. Bears have gotten 3 in the 5th and now 1 here in the 6th to take their first lead. 1-2. Another 3-2 off the end of the bat. Look out in the Bear dugout. Still 3-2. 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
Just staying alive, making it so hard. And we've seen him just really kind of throw the bat out there a few times, just making sure he fouls it off.
That's what he does. Fouls off pitches that are close and then takes ball 4 like he does right there. It's like a blueprint for Laskowski. 3 straight walks all in that way. And now Ynesta with 2 outs and 2 on will look to widen this lead even more.
And it never gets easier. It doesn't matter how much success you have against these Bears batters. You just know that when you're seeing one of these names that have been hitting all season pop up, they're gonna make it tough.
Ynesta, 2-run single in his last at-bat after the starter McCollum got him the first 2 times. Ynesta gets the last. Limit the damage to 1 here in this inning. 1-0 to Ynesta. Fastball, outer half called strike. Foster in center straight up. Ragsdale, who had a chance to get this inning off to a better start. To retire the side. But the Bears take their first lead of the day. RBI from David Bell is added to 4 unanswered runs for LR. It's 4-3 Bears after 6 on the Bears Sports Network, and AB will take you home the rest of the way.
Break great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
Four to 3 now on the Bears Sports Network. Anthony Brown here to take you home. A new pitcher, Jackson Reed, steps in for his 8th appearance on the season. Go look at Reed Rosdale. Be the first batter he faces. Good outing for Braden Houston. Came in, put up another 0 for the Bears, and now, after adding another run, they're going to look to continue the success they've built over the course of this game. Reed starts it out and gets a swing. It's going to be fouled off. A long, wiry framed right-hander can just get right on top of you. He's had a lot of success. Opponent batting average coming into this one, 165. He's ahead 0-2. Gets a swing, rolls over one, sends it foul. So a lot of swings, but fouling them off pretty good is Ragsdale, my bad. Left fielder had a chance to make a play on a ball that led to a couple of runs. Pitch on the outside, he'll take there. Runs the count to 2-2. On Collette's triple. Had to make a long run for it, jumped up, in and out the glove. You'd love to get on base here. Start the fight back. Looks at one low, that's going to be strike 3. Good pitch. So one batter, one strikeout for Reed. Brings up Angelino. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Ground out, single, and a fly out. He takes a pitch on the inside for a strike. Around the hands. Not too much off speed coming around when Reed's on the mound. He's a fireballer. Hair flowing out the back of the hat. Let's go, a little bit of a grunt there as he blows a fastball by Angelino. 0-2, Reed looking for a second put out. And this one's just staying alive with the foul ball. Pitch on the outside, doesn't get the call. But asks for a new baseball. Good looking pitch. Jackson Reed, he's come out. Not wasting any time right now. As I said on the season, 165 is the opponent batting average coming in today. Whip is under 1. That one's fought off into right center field, and that's gonna be a single there. So another hit. 9th hit of the day for the Hurricanes. Angelino does a good job, stays alive, battles. Punches one out there in the right center, gets a single. Bring up Wozniak. Had a ground rule double in his first appearance, and since then, and a lot of strikeouts. Ground rule double yesterday as well. He brought in the first run with the hit in the first inning. Looks at a first pitch strike there. Swing at some high cheese there. Wozniak's now down 0-2. Swung at one up there around the shoulders. Couldn't lay off of it. Short lead over at first base. A big swing and a big miss. 2 down here at the top of the second. Clarno gets the sign. First pitch is going to be a ball to Foster. 0 for 3 on the day. Struck out in his first appearance, flew out in his second, and then struck out swinging again. Last time up. A little bluff of a run over at first base by Angelino. It's going to be a foul ball anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Counts now 1-1. Reed asked for a new baseball. Got 2 strikeouts in the inning so far. Trying to look and put up another 0. I was going to check on the runner. Nothing going on there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top of the 7th. Pitch is on the way. Gets under it and fouls this one off, so it's going to be 1-2. No real action down there in the bullpen for the Hurricanes, so Backel might come out for another inning after giving up 1 run in the bottom of the 6th. Bears have scored all 4 runs in the last 2 innings. Really come alive after being down 3-0. Another pitch there. Another grunt. Another foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Angelino reached with a 1-out single. And now Reed looking to get his 3rd strikeout of the inning. Pitch is on the way. And he gets it looking for strike 3. That'll do it here. So time to stretch here. Durham Field, LR up 4-3, looking to add to it on the Bear Sports Network. Bottom of the 7th inning here on the Bear Sports Network. LR up 4-3. Backel back out for another inning of work. He's done a good job. Atiles will step in. 1 for 3, but reached on a drop third strike in his first appearance. Looks at a strike. High strike on a fastball there. Bears thought it was a little too far up. Blew behind the plate. Said it was a strike. And Atiles takes a nice hack at it. 0-2 now. Just an update from around. LR women's basketball is in a good one. 6 minutes to go. They're up 60-56 over Newberry in the fourth quarter. Again, a must-win game for them. Right now, the Bears must win if they look to extend their winning streak to 12 games. Up 4-3, Atiles staying alive. Now Backel looking for a put-away pitch. A little too far inside for a ball. Counts now 1-2. And a big swing and a miss for the first out of the inning. Atiles goes down. Brings up Nick Clarno. He's had some big at-bats. 0 for 2 on the ledger, but some long at-bats, some battles. Drew a walk early on. Came in today with his average over 400. As were so many of the Bears, it feels like. Takes a ball up high. And he's done a fantastic job behind the plate. Gunning out a few runners. They're really calling this game. He pops one straight up. It's going to be a tough read. And what a catch. Sutton there. That was not easy at all. The wind caught all of that one. Did a good job of getting behind it, as you see on the replay. Saw it early, got behind it, and uncomfortably makes the play. That one was hit a mile in the air. It brings up Anthony Perino. 0 for 3 on the day for him. And he turns on one and sends it out there into center field. Back going to the wall, and it's gone. Perino with a bomb on the first pitch here he sees in the bottom of the 7th. Extends the lead. Nation leader in RBIs does it again. This time brings in himself with a long shot out in the right center field. You see on the replay, didn't waste any time, jumped all over it. And it kind of looked like it was going off the bat. And it was halfway up into the trees out there behind the fence. Extends the lead to 5-3. And a little bit of breathing room now for the Bears as Scott Meitzler will be tasked to follow that up. Takes a first pitch ball. Meitzler 1 for 3. At the leadoff single in his first at bat since then. Been retired a few times. He gets ahead here. 2-0. Takes one inside. And now Backel, who did a pretty good job so far after giving up one in the bottom of the 6th. Giving up the long shot here with 2 outs. Gives up a 4-pitch walk there. Bachel's lost it a little bit. Needs to take a moment to gather himself. Going to have a talk with Sutton. I think that's the right call by Sutton, really. Just kind of settle his pitcher down after the long shot home run by Perino. And the Bears have done what they've done all season now. You got to believe it when you see it now, as they just continue to wear pitchers down and then have these monster innings, monster runs. All 5 runs here coming in the last 3 innings. Brandon Collette, he pretty much started this off with the infield single he had in the bottom half of the 5th. Came around to score then had a triple in the bottom of the 6th. He came around to score off of that. Now with a runner on first. Takes a big swing. Falls behind, 0-1. Collette, he didn't miss by much on that triple. That ball just kept carrying out there in the left center. Gave it a run for its money. Ragsdale was unable to hold it. And now, good short swing. Fouls it off. Down 0-2 here with 2 outs. Collette getting his first start of the season. Made it pay off. 2 for 3 on the day. He's done a good job of answering after a little bit of a misplay early on. Gonna have to battle here. And that's exactly what he does. Staying alive, 0-2. Another foul ball. Got to be a good feeling for Coach Ram to know you have a player like this that you can just develop along, but the team still have major success as he battles there, stays alive again. Out in front of that one, looks like a little bit of off speed, had Collette fooled, but not enough to get the swing and the miss. Backel kicks, throws, and this one's smashed out into left field, but it'll be caught by Ragsdale. Just a little too hard there. Good swing on it. Bears add 1 on a long shot by Perino. Makes it 5-3. We're going to be back here on the Bear Sports Network.
If you play hard, if you use your feet to chase fitness goals, if you stand all day at work, introducing True Energy Infrared Technology Socks. These may be the best socks you ever wear. Our yarn is infused with infrared nanoparticles. Your body's natural heat ignites these tiny particles, producing infrared energy that improves circulation and stimulates cellular recovery. It's not magic, it's rocket science. The perfect sock for your active life, for fitness, performance, recovery. Proven innovation to ignite your true energy.
Ben Freeble is the call to the pen. Carolina West call to the pen. As he'll come here in the top half of the 8. Also have a change. Brett Urey will go into left field. The Bears get defensive here, trying to close this one out. John Newton. He steps up, gets one up the middle. Laskowski gonna have to make the play and gets it. One pitch, one out. Sutton now. He'll come in. He's done a good job today. Numbers on Freeble. I'll have to get those in a second. Another one's hit out into left field, and coming in, then having to go back is Urey. Good thing that ball hung in the air. Gave him plenty of time there. So 2 pitches, 2 outs. Might not even get to the stats for Freeble. This end has been so efficient. Freeble, 7th appearance. He's pitched now 6 1/3 innings. Let's see. Skelton there. Takes a ball, so it won't be a 3-pitch inning. Freeble will have to do a little more work than that, but he's already got 2 outs on 2 pitches. 1-0 is the count here. Fires one in. Makes it 1-1. Rocking a grunt. A little bit of a 3/4. Almost side arm. Slide angle on his throws. This one's hit over to the shortstop. Atiles feels it, comes up, and that's a quick 1-2-3 inning. Freeble comes in, does work, and Bears going into the bottom half of the 8 looking to get some more insurance as they leave 5-3 on the Bear Sports Network. Back here on the Bear Sports Network, David Bell will step in as he faces new pitcher, Mike Monday. He looks at a first pitch strike. Rain is coming, so efficiency is key here. Monday, his 7th appearance on the season, 6 2/3. Pitch before this, and that one's lined over, and that's going to be a hit. David Bell gets his first hit of the game. shot in between first and second base. Brings up Wade Kuda. Only 1 for 4 today. Reached on an error. Takes a nice swing at it there. Fouls it off late on it. All the way over to Eisenhower Hall. The residency might have woke somebody up with how hard that hit the brick, so 0-1 is the count here. Fouls another one off. Wild scenes right now. Wild scenes right now in women's basketball. They're trying to hang on for dear life. Here we've got no 2 count with the Bears storming back. Kuda's able to hold up, take one low. Run the count to 1 and 2. That should be strike 3 right there. So calling the outside for strike 3. A little bit anticlimactic, but strike 3 called. Wade Kuda goes down looking. Brings up Cole Laskowski. It's been just a walk in the park for him. It's 3 walks on the day, a ground out in his first at bat. Rolls over one. It's going to be a tough play. Gets one at second base. They will not be able to get Laskowski. So quickly, we have a second out recorded. So fielder's choice. Brings up Iniesta. He takes a first pitch strike. On the outside for a ball, so a lot going on there. Another one misses. 2-1 now, 2 outs. Takes one on the inside. Just missed him. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here. And that's the 1 for 4 on the day, as I said. Struck out swinging his first 2 times. Now ahead 3-1. Pitch low. That'd be ball 4. So throw down didn't even really matter. And Luis Atiles now comes to the plate. 1 for 4 on the day. Reached on a drop third strike in his first appearance. Then a fly out, a single. And struck out swinging last time up. Got 2 runners out there. Takes a first pitch swing at it. Good swing at it. Fouls it off. Mundy shows, fires off the outside. It's good heat on his pitch. Been a little loose with it now. Just giving out the walk. But he got 2 quick outs to start this inning. And this one's hammered out into the left center gap. It's going, and it's off the scoreboard. Luis Atiles extends the lead for the Bears. 3-run shot here in the bottom of the 8th. A long one off the scoreboard. Didn't know if it was going to go for a second. Then you kind of looked and you were like, oh, it's out of there. Coach Ram, he knew off the bat. He had his hand up. A long fly out in left center field. Off the scoreboard. Good effort, good chase after it, but just the insurance the Bears needed as they blow this one open 8-3. Make it a non-save situation. Brings up Nick Clarino. He takes a first pitch ball. And this one's hit a mile, but foul. Hit a mile foul. The Bears starting to really get on it a little bit. Just a long strike. Clarino takes another one off the plate. Let's count to 2-1. 2 outs here. That one's fired in. 2-2. Clarino. He's reached base a few times, but only with walks. He battles. Slices one, and it's going to get out of play. So Mundy, back where he was. Feels like for the last couple of batters, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. A 3-run shot from Atiles has changed the complexion of this game. But that one's going to bounce in, run the count full. And this one's going to be hit into right field. It's going to fall. Bears keep the 2-out hit and going. Two-out hitting's been the story of the season for them. The last 4 runs all coming with 2 outs. Solo shot from Perino in the bottom of the 7th with 2 outs. And then a 3-run home run by Atiles. Bottom half of this inning. So Clarino reaches on the single, brings up the prior to mentioned Perino. He takes a big swing at it, rolls over to third. It's going to be a throw across. A bouncer unable to be scooped, so he'll reach safely. Should be a throwing error on that. So. See on the play here, just rolled over to 1. Pretty good job to make the play, but not enough arm on it, bounces it in. And Perino reaches safely. Scott Meitzler, now his turn. Check swings. Did go. So he's down. 0-1. Meitzler's 1 for 3. Walked in his last appearance. Looks at another bouncer. Counts 1-1. Bears trying to add a couple more runs, see if they can get to that double-digit number again. That's something they take a lot of pride in, being able to put up runs like that. strike there. Bears believe they have the best offense in the nation, not just the region or the conference, but in the nation. Putting up numbers at an alarming rate. Bats all throughout the order. Meitzler, he wants to add to this. Also try to get above that 300 line. Looks at one on the outside for a ball. Counts even, 2-2. And that's going to get him looking. Good pitch right there, but the damage is done. A 3-run blast from Luis Atiles extends the lead now, makes it a 5-run lead for the Bears. They're going to try to close it out and win their 12th in a row here on the Bear Sports Network. Top of the ninth here. Bears looking to close it out. Not a save situation for Caleb Cockerham. Anthony Brown here with you as the Bears look to finish this one off. All 8 runs coming in the last 4 innings. It's been an offensive explosion after being quiet the first 4 innings. And for the Hurricanes, they scored their first 3 runs, or they scored their 3 runs in the first 2 innings. Since then, combination of pitching from Lanham. Let's see, let's get all the names we got here. So we got Lanham, Houston, Reed, Freeble, and now Cockerham. Looking to put up a bunch of zeros and finish off what'll be the 12th straight victory for the Bears. All of them coming on this homestand. The Bats did their part. Matthew Mamatidas. 1 for 3 on the day. Walked his first appearance and came around and scored. He was the first run of the game after that leadoff walk. Looks at the first strike of the at bat. 1-1 now. Eighth appearance of the season for Cockerham. It's breaking ball. That's a good-looking pitch. They're going to call it just a tad low around the knees. 8 innings of work for Cockerham on the season. Hasn't given up any earned runs. Opponent batting average, 115. Not a whole lot of success off the lefty. He skips that one in. So he's down here 3-1. Looks like some turf or something might have gotten in the eye of Hartsfield. Gives a thumbs up, saying he's good. That's going to make this at bat a little more difficult. Something gets in your eye as a batter and throws everything off, so you got to recalibrate now. Pitch is on the way, and that one's going to be high. So, a walk. 1-out walk. Brings up Ragsdale. 1 for 3 on the day. He's been hit by a pitch. Strikeout swing in his first appearance, hit by a pitch in his second, single in his third appearance, and then caught looking last time at the plate. He's gotten plenty of chances. Looks at a first pitch strike. 3 runs on 9 hits and a costly 3 errors for the Hurricanes. All 3 of them have hurt. The Bears have been able to do damage. For the Bears, it's 8 runs on 10 hits. 1 error for them, committed by Tiles. A little bit of a stare down, ends in nothing. Time is called. This one sliced foul. Just misses the light pole. Now the count 0-2. Look, no go. We check down, confirm, no go. So 1-2 is the count. Ragsdale is able to hold up. Let's see if we can get a game-ending double play here. We haven't got double play yet today via the infield. Got one on an outfield assist earlier. This one's also taken low. Makes the count even, 2-2. That's beautiful. Looking off-speed pitch, gets the strikeout call. Looking. Ragsdale just buckled up right there. Now the Bears 1 out away. Angelino. Steps up to the plate. He fouls one off. So he falls behind 0-1. For Angelino, it's a 2-hit day. Ground out single, fly out single. The last single was a shot out in the right field. Back pick. Ball got a little high off of Clarino. Had a chance at it. I think maybe a good throw. Gets him a shot, but ball was a little high. Counts 1-1. So ball was taken there. Perino is able to get up, make the catch. Top of the 9th, 2 outs. Cockerham looking to finish this one off. And that one gets high, sails on him. Here's a word from Atiles. I think at this point in time, you just want to focus in on the batter. Get this last out. That one bounces, gets behind Calerno. A wild pitch leads to the runner advancing. Haven't had a lot of those today, so 3-1. Base now open. And then just another miss, a bad miss too. And now Cockerham has to go chase it down. Ball took a wild hop off the bricks back there. Runner Hartsfield will advance to third base on another wild pitch. And runners at the corner now. For Wozniak. 1 for 4 on the day. Ground rule double. Only hit. Got that in the very first inning to bring in a run, so he does have an RBI on the day. Since then, whole lot of strikeouts. Caught looking and twice swinging. For Cockerham, after a couple wild pitches, looking to find the strike zone. He does. Gets ahead 0-1. That's a nice off-speed pitch. Doesn't get the call on the outside part of the plate, so counts even. 1-1. And this one's going to be skied up into right field. Let's see who gets the call this one. Bell calls it off, runs in, makes the catch, loses his hat and his glasses, but the Bears win the game 8-3. Big second half of the game, 3 runs in the 5th, 1 run in the 6th, 1 run in the 7th, and a 3-run blast in the bottom of the 8th helped propel the Bears to an 8-3 win, give them their 12th straight victory. Gonna take a short break and be back for game 2, so join us in about 30 minutes or so here on the Bears Sports Network. Bears win game 1, 8-3.